Hello, this is Dr. Jeff, and I'm headed out to the University of California, Irvine, where we will be looking at oral history as community history.
So what brought me out today was just natural curiosity.
I had the privilege of learning about oral histories today at UCI, and I'm just so excited to explore different possibilities of integrating it into our own classrooms.
We're going to talk about oral history methodology. We're going to develop an oral history guide.
Ways that kids can engage with their family members as well as friends, and what they can learn about their own perspectives and experiences and the world around them.
So giving our students the opportunity to capture these stories is such a powerful way to learn. And so I can imagine our students going to their families, going in their communities, capturing these amazing stories, and then us all benefiting because we're able to tap into these funds of knowledge.
I really am always looking to improve and grow as an educator. And, when I heard the idea of essentially incorporating oral histories into my classroom, I was just so enamored with the prospects of getting students to do actual historical work. And so
today's workshop on oral history as community history is very powerful because sometimes we don't know our own history, we don't know our own story.
Here we go. So we're gonna have a hypothetical situation here.
If I were to share the idea that some histories have been silenced, I know some people might disagree with that, but if I were to ask you, could you name one Asian American that made a difference in the United States, they might struggle. And why is that when so many Asian Americans and other groups have made a great difference for our country? It's oftentimes the stories are not told. So I love this framework of how history can sometimes be silenced, but it's also maybe a framework to look at on how stories can also be amplified.
The hallmark of an oral history interview is a dynamic, collaborative relationship between the interviewer and the narrator. While interviewers pose questions based on research and careful preparation, narrators shape the interview based on what they deem to be relevant, meaningful, or appropriate to share. Despite the fluid nature of the interview process, an oral history is grounded in thoughtful planning and careful follow-through of the agreed-upon process.
Perhaps then students are involved in capturing the oral histories. We talked about how in Orange County we have an Asian American Studies Museum that's being created, and perhaps the stories can be archived there. And in those spaces, as students are creating that work, an opportunity then for the public to also celebrate these stories.
always looking to refine my practices, and I think this oral history presentation at UCI is going to do that, and I can bring it back to the class, and students can work out with their own backgrounds and teach each other. And
Being here and thinking about giving this lesson to students also has made me think about what would it look like to also give this opportunity for faculty. So oftentimes, do we know the stories of fellow educators? Maybe not as much as we would like to. In fact, there's people I'm meeting today and there's stories that I'm learning about them. And so giving the opportunity also for these oral histories among faculty can also be a way to strengthen the community and sense of belonging among staff. So I'm thinking of this dual benefit today at the Oral History as Community History workshop.